Yo, the support for the last video was crazy. At the moment, it's on 290 something views. I checked, it's like 200 something, and we've gained over just under 100 subscribers, which is just crazy. Like, I didn't think you'd get that kind of response. So thank you to anyone that subscribed, and thank you to anyone who's watched the video and liked the video, commented. It's been mad, the support's been crazy. Today's video is about why you shouldn't stress over your GCSE results, because I understand it's results day to day. A lot of people are nervous about getting the results. A lot of people are scared, anxious that, oh, what if I flopped? What if I didn't get what I wanted? What if I don't pass? So I thought I'd make a video just comforting those people and just telling those people, yo, it's really not the end of the world. Don't stress over it, because it's not as big as you might be stressing over. I've got a few points about why you shouldn't stress over your GCSE results. First point is that they're genuinely just memory tests. Like, you'll notice when people say, a wasp just came into my room. Like, if you rewind, I'll show you my face. I'm not having that. So I had to pause recording, but nah, sorry for that. So you'll notice when people say revise for tests, you're looking back at the work you've already done, and there's a reason for it. It's just genuinely just so it sticks. Like, when people say revise, when you revise, you're having another look at what you've already done, so it sticks in your memory. It's like singing a song that you've known for 5 years, but you haven't sung it in 5 years. You're gonna be a bit rusty. You're gonna forget half of it. But if you're singing a song every week, you'll know all the words, and that's why revision is helpful, because it helps everything stick. But that's because they're all memory tests. There's one exclusion, and that's maths. And with maths, I understand, I'll accept that you have to apply different skills, and to be good at maths you have to be relatively smart, and I'll give you that. But for example, like history, I do history, and I'm not year 11, I'm not getting my results today. I'll get them this time next year. And for history, you genuinely just have to remember dates and that, have to remember events, what happened in the events. Like, it doesn't test how smart you are just because you can remember something. Like, that's why you shouldn't be thinking, oh, I got this in history, I didn't do that well in geography. It doesn't mean you're dumb. It just means that your memory isn't as strong as other people's memory. That's genuinely all it is. That's why when people say revise, it's so you're looking at it again so it sticks. That's all it is. My second point about why you shouldn't stress over your GCSE results is that they're really not the end of the world. Most people, not all, but most celebrities that we know, not even just celebrities, just successful people, haven't had to use their GCSEs. Yeah, I can name quite a few that just either didn't even sit their GCSEs. This guy, for example, Ronaldo. I mean, it's a bit of a stretch. We're not all Cristiano Ronaldo, but if you're good at other things, you won't need your GCSEs for them. Okay, not everyone's talented, but most people have a skill, and when other people notice it, you just have to wait for the right person to notice it, and bam, you're set. So you shouldn't be stressing over your GCSEs. And furthermore, proof that they're really not the end of the world, most people go on to their A-levels and then university, which is way more important than GCSEs. With A-levels, you only have to pick about 4 that you actually want to do, and you don't have to do maths, English and science. They're your own choice of what you want to study. With GCSEs, we're forced to do maths, all 3 sciences, English, RS, religious studies. People don't want to do those things, and if you haven't been good at them in the past, okay, there's time to improve. As I said, you just need to remember things. But with GCSEs, you're just told you're doing this, you're doing that. At least with A-levels, you get to pick and decide your own education, and you genuinely get to pick 4 subjects that you specialise in. That's why with GCSEs you shouldn't stress, because you didn't want to do half of the subjects. So that's why I say, yo, don't stress over maths or English when you don't even like it, or chemistry. Physics is extremely hard. None of us want to do it. Barely anyone's going to pick at A-level, where we actually pick what we want to do. And my final point about why you shouldn't stress over your GCSE results is that they are really not a good, accurate representation of how hard you've worked. The smartest people could end up on the day getting nervous, and it gets the better of them, and the simpler questions that they usually get right, they might get wrong. And it's generally all down to how you perform on the day. As I said, since it's genuinely just a memory test, if you can recall the information at the right time, then you're set. But some people can't. And just because you can't bring back a certain date or remember how to do a certain equation on the day of your exam really doesn't mean you're any less smart than the next guy. Because all it is A, it's a memory test, B, it's just not an accurate representation of how hard you yourself have worked. You may have revised the whole year every single day and still somehow just not been able to remember the key thing on the day when it mattered. So that's why I say, yo, don't stress over them, don't dwell on them, don't be thinking that you're dumb just because you flopped your GCSEs. Even if you passed them but you didn't get what you wanted, that's fine. Just be grateful you've actually done well, because not everyone passes. And I'm sure some of the people watching this didn't pass, and that's why I'm making a video saying, yo, don't be upset. It's really not the end of the world. It's only your last 2 years gone into a few exams. It's not accurate. Also, they've made them incredibly hard. Anyone that's just sat this last GCSE has sat one of the hardest, if not the hardest GCSEs ever. And for my year, who's doing them next year, we have incredibly hard GCSEs. For example, in English, for books like Inspector Calls and A Christmas Carol, we don't even get to take the book into the exam room. In previous years, they have been able to take the book in. So when they say you have to remember quotes, you have to remember what happened in the story, character references and that. If you have the book with you, you don't have to remember the quote, you just have to remember what page it's on, or what chapter it's in, or for A Christmas Carol, what stave it's in. And then you've got the answer right in front of you. Whereas for us, it's completely memory based. That's why the old exams, they prove your intelligence. If you can remember a quote and justify why it's relevant to the question, fine, you know how to apply information to a question. Whereas now it's just about remembering, and if you can't remember something, then you're just unfortunate. That's all it is. And that's why they've changed the exams so much, and they've made them so much more difficult, and doesn't benefit anyone. In fact, it just stresses us out. So that's all I can really say. Don't stress over them. They don't mean you're dumb just because you didn't get what you wanted, and it doesn't mean that you can't get anywhere in life. It doesn't mean you're gonna be homeless or you'll never ever achieve your goals just because you didn't get the A that you wanted in that one subject. Just don't stress over them. They don't mean nothing, but they're not a representation of your intelligence. That's all it is. So yeah, as I said at the start, thank you very much for subscribing if you have. If you haven't, subscribe below, put notifications on, so when I upload a video, you just get a notification on your phone. You can tap it straight away, watch it. Be one of the first to watch the new video. Like the video, and yeah, thank you for watching the video.
I don't really want no fame. I don't really want no fame.